lights are on Broadway and there's magic in the air, but tonight that distinction belongs to the Charlotte Coliseum, and 23,698 have seen Pat Riley, the former Kentucky All-American, 4 NBA titles, 9 Pacific Division titles, and those are in the dreams of Alan Bristow in his second year as the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. Alonzo Mourning averaging better than 24 points a game in the playoffs, 3 above his season average. Hugh Evans, Ronnie Nunn, Bennett Salvatore, the officials tonight.
Another thing to watch early, too, is Charlotte had early turnovers in New York in Game 2, allowed New York to run out 27-8 on fast break opportunities. The second half, that was not a factor.
Johnny Newman, the high arcer, goes into the hands of Charles Oakley.
See if they run a play for Charles Smith in the post to try to get him a quick touch, maybe an easy score.
Oakley, 16 rebounds in Game 2, 17 points in Game 1. They throw it away, the first turnover.
We'll keep our eye on turnovers and more so points off turnovers to see if Charlotte or New York, which team is capitalizing on the other team's mistakes.
Game 1 was won by the Knicks, 111-95. Game 2, 105-101 in overtime. One apiece as far as the TOs go. Now it is Bogues on Starks, a matchup Alan Bristow likes.
There's the quick post, Charles Smith.
Starks for the 3, well off the mark, into the hands of Mourning. Kendall Gill waits for his teammates. Newman on top, Smith giving him a lot of room. Smith can give Newman trouble. They really want Johnny Newman to get off early in the game to get Smith out of there.
Here's another good matchup. Larry Johnson in the post against Oakley. Quick double team from Charles Smith to help.
Newman off the glass. The former Knick can't get it to drop. And the Hornets, who have been out-rebounded by the Knicks, get it right back, and it ends up with Alonzo Mourning, too.
He is so cool. Alonzo Mourning in the playoffs playing so well in this series, averaging 25.5 points a game. And for the 6 playoff games, over 24 points, which is 8th in the playoffs of all scores.
Charles Oakley, who Pat Riley says is the best 17-foot shooter on our team, hits the 17. Now Bogues on Rivers. Oakley gives Johnson a lot of room, and LJ thanks the Lord, and the rim is round. Whistle down low by Hugh Evans. We have our first foul on the game. It'll be on Johnny Newman.
Now what happens, Charles Smith posting, if he causes problems for Johnny Newman, it forces Alan Bristow to go to a big lineup, and he has to come in with Kenny Gaddison. It moves Larry Johnson over to the 3 spot. And what it does, it limits his ability to substitute, for Alonzo Mourning with Kenny Gaddison.
The double team ends up Oakley with the baseline J, and he drains it.
There's 2 for Charles Oakley, 2 quick field goals. Now remember, in Game 1, he shot 7 for 10, and he and Greg Anthony were the guys that the Knicks, that Charlotte was forcing to make outside jump shots. They did so, played very well in Game 1.
In fact, he hit his first 3 shots in Game 1. Gill to Bogues. Shot clock inside of 10. Doc Rivers says he's a tough cover because you lose eye contact with him. Johnson, the fall away, and Larry Johnson, who played only 16 minutes in Game 1, did not play all that well in Game 2. Is 2 for 2 tonight.
It appears that early in this game that Charlotte is using a little more shot clock. I thought that they would look for quicker shots, but I think that Alan Bristow is trying to keep his team at a pace that he feels that they can play for the entire night. So not a lot of quick bursts up the floor right now. A lot of shot clock being used by both teams.
The Hornets won 9 of the last 12 regular season games to get to where they are in the playoffs. Steal by Gill. He comes up with a loose ball.
Well, that was great help by Kendall Gill. Charles Smith had a dunk.
Nice look. Mourning to Johnson inside. Johnson with 6.
Now here's what Charlotte really wants to do. They want to get Muggsy Bogues up here pressuring. You see Larry Johnson forcing the quick double team.
Oakley can't get the jam to go. Here comes Bogues. 4 on 2. To Newman.
This is Charlotte at their best. Pressure, running.
A 6-0 run by the Hornets. Pat Riley calling out a play.
There's a foul call by Bennett Salvatore against Muggsy Bogues. It was so noisy, neither one of them could hear. The play continued. A hand check in the backcourt on Muggsy Bogues. Now, the other day, Ron, when this was occurring, John Starks came up the floor and handled the ball. They ran Doc Rivers down the floor to get Muggsy Bogues out of the play. Let's see if New York will do that again tonight. Either that or they sub early with Anthony Mason. Here's the problem.
And Doc Rivers may have hurt his back. He's staying on one knee. gets up slowly.
See, I think you got to get Doc Rivers down the floor.
Rivers has had back problems. They lose the basketball. New York has only 7 seconds to get it across the timeline, and the pressure will be put on by Kendall Gill.
You can see right now, Starks is in the backcourt, bringing the ball up the floor, and they're taking Doc Rivers down the floor. If this continues, look for them to put in a better shooter to try to punish Muggsy through some screens.
New York 2 of 3, 3 turnovers in the ball game. Doc for 3, doesn't get it. Rebound right back out to Ewing. The fall away, can't find the net. Smith, nice effort. Oakley can't get it.
Oh, Charles Smith just missed a point-blank layup. Missed 2 layups, and Oakley missed one also. So 4 shots at the basket. New York could get none of them to go down.
Looked like Chicago last night on Cleveland.
It really.
Charlotte on an 8-0 run. They lead at 12-4, 7:40 left to be played in the first. Good turnaround. Ball being tipped around by a lot of hands above the rim.
It's going to be a loose ball foul on Larry Johnson. He and Oakley were going for the loose ball, and Larry Johnson pushed off. Not a popular call here, but I think a correct one. I think Larry Johnson's also going to get a technical.
He did just that, Doug. So at the 7:36 mark, we have our first tee. They'll go down the other end to shoot it.
Doc Rivers will shoot the technical. In the playoffs, he's shooting free throws at an 82% clip, 18 for 22.
Doc told me before the game the only time his back really hurts him is when he shoots free throws. He's had some problems with it. Had back spasms before game 2, we talked about.
He had some acupuncture treatment the other night. He said he would not have been able to play had he not had that. I asked him if he did it today, and he said, you know, it's the first time I've ever done that, and I'm not going to trust someone that I don't know, so I was not going to have that down here.
I'm sure his lovely wife, Chris, loves to see needles stuck in the back of her husband. Starks all the way, has to dish off. Ewing with the punctuation.
That's what happens when you get penetration through the defense.
Charlotte quickly down, and it results in a turnover.
Great hustle back by Starks to disrupt that pass. Just got a finger on it to knock it away from Gill. Where Charles Smith really would like to get a basket. He's struggling.
Charles Oakley continues the hot pace. He is now 3 of 3 from the floor. Johnson on Oakley, down low in the morning.
Here's a young warrior, jump hook. This guy, I'm growing to love this young guy more and more. We've seen him in the Boston series against Parrish. We've seen him now in the New York series, our 3rd time against Patrick Ewing, and he's getting better and better. He comes out on the floor with a game face like you'd think he was a 10-year veteran.
Inside, Oakley again, and he connects underneath, and the whistle blows. 28-25, the Hornets lead it by 3 thanks to 23 points from the combination of Johnson and Mourning.
Let's see the nice move by Patrick Ewing, the little runner to his left over his right shoulder. Nice move, and then we're going to follow it up with a nice post play by Alonzo Mourning. He's hit 3 jumpers, so you must honor this pump fake right there, which Ewing does. Now he takes the ball to the basket. Alonzo Mourning off to a quick start, 5 of 9 for 11 points. Patrick Ewing 3 of 5 for 6 points. A well-played first quarter.
Kenny Gaddis, number 44, the 6-year pro out of Old Dominion, has checked in for Charlotte, and Alan Bristol was very happy with the job he did in game 2. He got a chance to spell Alonzo Mourning to get some air. Mason gets his first 2.
Let's take a look at these matchups now. Charlotte has 3 guards on the floor. They have Wingate, Bennett, and Kendall Gill. That puts Kendall Gill against Mason.
Takes it with the reverse, won't go. Rebound Gaddison. The easy right in front of the basket shot won't go.
So now Gill tries to take Mason. He doesn't get a score. Let's see if they come back now and post Mason again. Gill must keep him off the glass.
Gaddison got a hand on Patrick Ewing. The shot won't go. Wingate. Not a shooter, known for his defense. Bennett from the corner. A rookie from Wisconsin, Green Bay, can't find his first 2 in the 3rd game.
Now, with the quickness of Charlotte run out the power game of New York will force Pat Riley to go smaller. He's got Mason and Ewing on the front line with Blackman, Starks, and Greg Anthony now at the guard position. Blackman 2 for 11 in game 2. They would like to see him get his jump shot back.
Anthony from the outside, no good. Wingate the rebound. Anthony, in the regular season, only 42%. In the playoffs, 44% from the outside.
Looks like he's taking his shot a little bit quicker tonight than he has in the past. I think that shot will be there if he has a little more patience.
They give Wingate the 20. He can't get it to go. 10.5 remaining in the second. Hornets still lead it by 1. Blackman, they're going to call a jump ball, says Ronnie Nunn. Both teams, Doug, it feels like, we had kind of a hectic tempo in game 2. We couldn't really figure it out after the first half as Greg Anthony knocks it out of bounds. Ball belongs to Charlotte. This seems like two heavyweight fighters sort of feeling each other out. You make the move. No, I'll make the move.
I think that's what happens. The longer you go in a series, the more it comes to a slower tempo. You don't keep up that same pace, because what happens is you start gearing to what teams want to do and you try to shut them down. New York knows what Charlotte wants to do. They want to get out and run with it. Charlotte now knows what New York wants to do. So now you force them away from their strength and maybe into some weaknesses. And I think that's why you see a little more tentativeness on offense.
Right. Well, Hubert Davis, you saw, started to come in and can't make a substitution on that play, so he sits back down. Gill from the outside, and boy, that is a sigh of relief for Alan Bristow. His first 2 of the game for Gill. All
right, now does New York come back and post up Gill? Now, Gill took Mason outside. They've now moved Gill over on Charles Smith. See, that's a quick shot by Starks. He's really looking for the quick jumper. But now Kendall Gill is playing Charles Smith.
The chess game continues. Gill now 1 of 4 from the floor. On top, Mason on him. Looked for Curry. Curry forces up the jumper, doesn't get it. The tip won't go. Gaddison the rebound. The putback. And they'll try it again. No, we have a loose ball foul.
One of the things that was talked about by New York today was the offensive rebounding of Kendall Gill. Don't let him sneak in for offensive rebounds. Now, interestingly enough, they're not giving him 2 shots. I thought he was in the act of shooting.
They are not. Alonzo Mourning sits and contemplates. Offensive rebounds, New York 3. No second chance points. Charlotte 6. 5 second chance points as Hubert Davis, the star of game 2, is checked in. The rookie out of North Carolina, playing in basically his backyard in collegiate career. Curry hangs in the air for a long time. Blackman pulls down the loose ball.
When you force Curry to put it on the floor and create his own shot, his percentage drops at least 15%.
Anthony works it around the Blackman.
See, Blackman's got Smith in the post. If he'll take his time, right there it is. That's what you got to go to, since Smith's got to be able to catch the ball.
Tony Bennett tried to keep it alive.
Ron, I think that Charles Smith is so excited about trying to post up that he's not catching the ball. He's almost playing frenetically and playing out of tempo, and that's what happens as you start to struggle. The pressure to have a good game continues to build.
Larry Johnson wants to come into the lineup, and he will. David Wingate comes out. Now the matchups change again. Now we have to see who's going to be guarding whom.
Well, that puts now Larry Johnson on Charles Smith, Gill on Hubert Davis. So you've got better matchups. Mason now being played by Kenny Gaddison, so they have more power. Alan Bristow did not like the looks of Gill playing Charles Smith.
Smith basically playing the center position.
See, this is where he's at his best. Take your time, catch it, just turn around and take the shot. That was a nice play, just didn't get the shot to go down.
Larry Johnson plays point guard now. Shakes and bakes around Mason with the left hand. It won't go. Gaddison.
This is not a good rebounding team that New York has on the floor right now. Charles Smith and Mason, the primary rebounders, with Hubert Davis, Blackman, and Greg Anthony. So this could be a team that Charlotte could get some second and third shots against.
Mason wants the ball on Gaddison, and he gets it. Bennett shows the double, backs off. Shot clock at 5. The kid, as Pat Riley calls him, with his first 2.
What happens in the playoffs, sometimes you find a guy that you don't think is going to give you anything. He gives you some big minutes, and then you start to trust him more. And Hubert Davis playing with a lot of confidence.
And that'll be off the hands of Kendall Gill. Hubert Davis causing a little problems defensively. Davis, a first-round pick this past year, the 20th pick overall out of North Carolina. The uncle named Walter Davis, familiar in NBA circles.
Screen roll.
Davis goes through it. Gives it up. Nice pass to Smith. Has a strip, no foul. Curry has Blackman to beat, and he does, and he draws the whistle.
Well, let's see if this gets Curry excited. Makes a nice layup against Orlando Blackman. Charles Smith going to the basket. He has it stripped low by Kenny Gaddison. This gives an opportunity for Charlotte to run. Tony Bennett pushes it ahead, and Del Curry, the little nice show it, take it around off the glass for a three-point play.
And he is now 4 of 6 from the line in the playoffs, and the Hornets have a 4-point lead. They're in the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. Charlotte has led basically all the way. New York had a small lead early. Mason back in and left off. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do, Doug. He got down in there and he didn't know if he wanted to turn right or turn left.
He was seeking contact, and Kenny Gaddison moved, and when he did, there was no one for him to bump into or hold him up, so he was stumbling backwards and just shuffled his feet.
Well, the two Georgetown Giants come back in. Alonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing, who spent a quiet evening in Charlotte together last night at a restaurant. Now they're doing battle in front of 23,000 at the Coliseum. 7 turnovers for New York, 4 only for Charlotte.
See Kendall Gill running away from the shot, wanting to put it on the floor. He had an open jump shot at the top, maybe one power dribble and pull up.
You cannot hesitate from the outside. Timeout. Hornets by 4. Hornets by 4, 6:59 remaining in the second.
The importance of spacing and perimeter shooting. The ball is going to go into the post, and if we hold it right there, look at this. We got a nice post play here. Good spacing. Hubert Davis playing out to the three-point line. Look where Del Curry's being played. We're going to roll it forward until the double team comes. Hubert Davis is going to come in, and we get it right here. He's coming down for the double team. You're not going to leave Curry. You don't want to give him the 3. So the ball's going to come back out to Kendall Gill. And this is one right there where he's got to think about the shot. He puts it on the floor, creates the foul. But that's the importance of spacing, taking the perimeter shot to open up your post play for Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning.
Or you see the numbers on him tonight. Tony Bennett remains in the lineup. Muggsy Bogues up off the bench. He'll come in the next break in the action. Mourning. Spinning. Ewing got a piece of it. Here comes Hubert Davis. 2 on 3.
Ewing's got a quick post up if they look for him.
Davis does, gets it to him. Patrick lost it. Bennett comes up with it. Hornets with the numbers if they can take advantage. Gill holds it up. Johnson inside. The foul by Doc Rivers, who thought he had all ball. That'll be Doc's first.
New York a little careless, and Charlotte is taking advantage of it. Patrick Ewing lost the ball down at the other end, and for a moment New York was playing 4 on 5. Doc Rivers thought he had a clean block, but he did get the foul. So Larry Johnson back to the free throw line.
Johnson short. Mourning got underneath Patrick Ewing but couldn't come up with it. So Larry Johnson just 3 of 5 from the line, and the Hornets continue their shooting woes from the stripe. Davis looked at the 3, didn't take it.
Quick screen and roll. Starks and Ewing, they've defended this very well.
Ewing, the baseline jumper, nothing but net for Patrick.
That's one of the bread and butter plays of New York. The screen roll with Starks and Ewing, and that they have really done a good job in this series. They have not been hurt that much on that play.
Bogues looked at the shot. Did he walk with it? No, it's a foul. Alan Bristow scratching his head. What will it take? They are only 6 of 11 from the line tonight.
In game 2, where they lost the tough overtime ball game, they were 16 for 26 and missed 7 of their last 11 free throws. Wingate missed 2, Mourning missed 2 that I know of in the 4th quarter. So that was a real key for them, missing those critical free throws when teams are not going to give you easy baskets.
Comes back to haunt you. Ewing, the tip by Anthony Mason over Larry Johnson, who throws the basketball down.
See, Larry Johnson has got to step back with that big body and bang Anthony Mason and not let him get that easy opportunity. Use those big shoulders, get yourself in position.
Mason 5 points, 5 rebounds. Mourning again gets Ewing up in the air, can't get the tip. Starks knocks it into the hands of Rivers. Alonzo had a good opportunity, did not take advantage of it. The fall away by Mason. The bank is closed, but it is open for Patrick Ewing.
Again, no block out. Mourning allows Ewing to come in there. You've got to get your body on people. In the playoffs, offensive rebounds become so important. Charlotte is #1 in the league in giving up offensive rebounds. In game 2, they gave up 23 second shots.
Well, Doug, Johnny Newman has checked back into the lineup for the Charlotte Hornets. Charles Oakley back in for New York. The Knicks, you see the shooting percentage after Charlotte, only 21% after shooting 55% in the first.
New York is matching Charlotte small right now. They have Rivers, Starks, and Hubert Davis, who's getting some nice playing time here in the second period.
Oakley on Larry Johnson, the quick move, and that is something that Alan Bristow wants to see more of from Larry Johnson. Make the quick move. Don't stand there and hold the ball.
See if Hubert Davis can spot up for a 3-point shot. with this group that's on the floor with the post game. I think he can free himself up for a three. Well, it's going to be Starks.
Starks, and he drains the three. John Starks is now 13 of 31 from the arc in the playoffs.
When Larry Johnson's getting very good position. He's beating Oakley down the floor. He has him sealed right now on his back once again.
Johnson, the fall away. He is now 7 of 8 from the floor.
Getting very good post position. Charles is going to have to try to push him off the block a little bit, because what happens, Larry shoots that fading jumper. If he can push him out about 2 steps, the shot will be fading to 17 instead of to 12 or 15.
Now Oakley tries to return the favor, kicks it out to Ewing, and they throw it away. That is turnover number 9 for the Knicks, who are averaging only 15 a game in the playoffs. Alan Briscoe was talking to us today, Doug, and he said he was wondering where the big shots will come from. We may see it in number 2 for Charlotte. He is getting the shots right now.
He's very comfortable right now playing against Oakley. He has the quickness on Charles.
Hill, the spin move.
Posting on Starks. Starks has got a hand in his face on every shot. The only play he's gotten is the little pull-up jump shot against Mason. He has not gotten a field goal against Starks.
He is inside the Doc Rivers with authority.
Don't go in there, Doc, with anything weak against Mourning. With that bad back, Doc goes in there strong and gets the dunk. That's a nice, powerful play.
John Starks didn't make the NBA's second all-defensive team for nothing. In fact, defense is really what got John Starks in the league in the first place. Johnny Newman, bodies flying all over the place. Bennett Salvador says the foul is on John Starks.
New York's in their press break attack. With this group, John Starks will try to bring the ball up the floor.
Davis out racing Johnny Newman. Quickly, the Knicks into their offensive set. Rivers will take it from the arc. It'll be short. Starks looking for 3. Baseline off the glass. The men of Teal have it. Bogues.
What is this? This is the men of Teal versus the men of Steel here. And the men of Teal are doing well. Alonzo Mourning is down on this end right now.
Johnny Newman is the beneficiary of a goaltending call on Ewing now. In game 2, Alonzo Mourning went out with back spasms.
He got hit in the face down there. He was holding his face. I do not know how it happened. We'll have to take a look when we get a chance.
And Larry Johnson, a very silly foul, and that is his second.
Larry Johnson came over to double team. He's going to leave Oakley, try to force Doc Rivers to give the ball up to scramble New York's offense, take them out of their rhythm so that they can't run the rhythm that they like to in their set offense. Let's watch Mourning.
Right there.
Right there, he got scratched right in the face, either by Larry Johnson or by Oakley.
Sidney Green comes back from New York the other night, finds out that his house was robbed, and what he was upset about was the videotape of his children. They stole that, and also his first NBA game, the tape of it. Doc again, the second jam tonight.
Muggsy Bogues going back to double team. No one stepping in on Doc Rivers. Muggsy doing what he's supposed to do, get the double team.
Offensive foul called on Johnny Newman as he was trying to post up on Doc Rivers, and Newman is now with 3 personal fouls.
Without Alonzo Mourning in the game, Ron, they lose the 4th leading shot blocker in the NBA, and they really do not have a shot blocker. We see Newman just backing himself into Rivers. That's one of the few times we've seen a guy flop and get the call. Doc Rivers did a nice job of acting on that play.
Well, Doug, talk about the fact Alonzo Mourning has had a lot of breathing time, a lot of bench time. We've talked about in game 2 and in game 1 the fact how tired he was in the 4th quarter. This may be a plus for them. Give up a little bit now, save it for the 4th.
How about Doc Rivers? Running a dunk drill here. That's 3 dunks for Doc Rivers.
So much for bad.
Bright minds think alike, don't they, Ron?
We got to quit hanging around, Doug. Rivers 4 of 6, 9 points. And the Knicks have a 1-point advantage as we head into the final 2 minutes. Johnson works on Oakley. Oakley reaches out and touches Larry Johnson, who then runs over Doc Rivers.
Charles Oakley's holding his left knee. I think Oak might have hurt his left knee. We'll have to keep our eye on Charles Oakley.
He gets up very gingerly.
He had a knee problem last year. He had sprained a knee ligament last year that really hurt him. Let's see if he gets banged here. Keep our eye on his left knee. Right there, he hits it on the floor. So I think that's probably going to be more of a bruise than it is a twist. And
we are tied at 46. Starks working on Wingate. David Wingate, a very good defensive player.
See, Ewing can post up Sidney Green. If he can grab, dribble this ball and get it to him, Ewing will get a shot.
Ewing knocked over David Wingate, allowing Starks to get the easy two.
They were teammates. They can throw each other around a little bit.
That's right.
See, that's a good matchup right now for New York, though. Sidney Green cannot handle Ewing if they can get him the ball inside.
No basket. Del Curry went about an inch too far underneath the basket. 6th turnover for Charlotte as Anthony Mason was going to check in. He's not now. The pressure continues.
See if they can get the ball to Patrick Ewing.
New York leads by 2 heading into the final 1 minute of play in the first half.
There's that screen roll again.
There's no one play that's beating Charlotte. Oakley gets the shooter's roll. Charles Oakley dug with 11 first half points.
See, Larry Johnson on the season's only blocked 27 shots. So when he lets a guy get down there, you're not going to worry about him getting a shot.
Johnson past Patrick Ewing.
Well, maybe this is going to be that night that he gets 80. Remember, he said he was going to get 80. He was upset with Pat Riley when he didn't play much as a starter in the All-Star game. So
he's got 20.
He's 1/4 of the way there. The problem is the game's half over. There's the matchup I was talking about right there.
Oakley snared the rebound and lost it as Larry Johnson the last to touch it. 7 seconds between the shot of the game. We haven't really heard from the sellout crowd here at the Coliseum. It has been a very quiet crowd, at least for Charlotte. Now they're starting to get a little riled up.
Well, they couldn't get the quick shot, so they're going to use clock now. 6-second differential.
Starks inside the paint. Ewing, 7 on the shot clock. The big step inside, and Patrick drains it with 10.9 left in the half.
He took his time. He had a smaller player on him, did not get in a hurry, knew that he could get the shot.
Alonzo Mourning remains on the bench. Muggsy Bogues, the high archer, won't go. And that is the way the first half will end. So the Charlotte Hornets had the lead for a while, but New York goes on a 10-3 run the final 3.5 minutes. And as we head to the third quarter of game number 3, the Knicks lead at 52-48. Charlotte led by 8 early on at 12-8. New York's biggest lead was 4, and that is where we stand right now. 52-48 as we head into the third quarter with some other numbers. Second quarter, the Hornets were ice cold. The Knicks got hot, and the backcourt scoring 20-8 in favor of the Knicks.
Well, Doc Rivers had 3 dunks. He had 9 points and 3 assists. John Starks doing the great job defensively on Kendall Gill had 9 points and 6 assists. So the guards combined, starting guards, 18 points and 9 assists with only 1 turnover. That's very, very good play.
One of the things Alan Bristow suggested that he uses teammates more. Let's look at Patrick Ewing coming back out for the war again with Alonzo Mourning.
We talk about Charlotte shooting 45% in the first half. That's true. Larry Johnson was 8 for 9. The rest of the team was 11 for 33. So he was shooting it exceptionally well. His teammates icy cold.
Alonzo Mourning sat an awful lot in that first half, but he is going to begin the second half, as will both starting fives that began the game. Crowd just looking for something to cheer about right now. Outside of when it was 12-4, they have been very quiet. Larry Johnson tracks it down. They almost gave up another offensive rebound. Bogues, the alley-oop. That'll get him cheering.
Well, Alonzo Mourning knows when to use his speed and quickness against Patrick Ewing, and anytime he has an opportunity to sprint out, he's been able to do that, and the result of it has been an easy fast break opportunity or a dunk. Knowing when to run and when to take your time. Alonzo's learning.
Knocked back inside. Ewing looks left, goes right, and he drains it from the outside.
Now Patrick shoots that little fading shot over his right shoulder so well. You got to make him spin back the other way and get some help.
Ewing averaging better than 27 overall for the playoffs, better than 30 against Charlotte.
Again, the perimeter shooting just will not go. Charles Smith has a quick post up on Johnny Newman. Let's see if he can take advantage of it.
Newman gets a piece of it. That'll be an offensive foul on Charles Smith instead. That'll be his second.
Ron, I don't understand what Charles Smith. Now he's got the ball right here. Why don't he just take his time, and turn and shoot the ball. He's 6'9", Johnny Newman's at 6'5". He can shoot right over him. He's getting in a hurry with his post play.
Pat Riley says getting to the next level for this team demands execution, and that time Charles Smith didn't exactly execute perfectly. Mourning cross court to Bogues.
There's the jump shot.
He squared up, just didn't get it. Mourning draws the whistle. Mourning with 4 in the quarter. He has 15 for the ball game, and it is a 2-point New York lead early on in the third.
There's the shot coming in the middle.
Big time rejection by the rookie. That is a Spalding Burger Deluxe. And then a wild shot by Starks. Last touch by New York.
I think it's going to be.
Block.
I think that ball's going to be off Muggsy Bogues' foot. Muggsy said, "You're right. You're right." But here it comes. See, you've got to come back to the middle and make him come with that left shoulder rather than turning out with the right. He also puts it on the floor. You can run a guy at him and try to make him pass off the dribble. So a sensational block by Mourning.
That was a good call. Bennett Salvatore corrected it quickly. The shot clock, and they beat it with Charles Oakley.
No block out. No block out again. That's 3 times now that I've seen New York go in for offensive rebounds where no body has been put on the player, and they've just beaten the Charlotte Hornets with quickness to the basket.
Smith with only 4 points, all coming in the first quarter.
9 seconds on the shot clock. They got to be aware.
Johnson working on Oakley. Good crossover dribble, but he gets in a land where no one goes. And Starks knocked down by his own teammate. Stolen. Gill.
Oh, those are the ones you like to get.
Starks was clobbered by Charles Oakley.
Starks tried to get out of there with a dribble, and he stopped. And when he did, Oak just barreled in from behind. Look at Muggsy Bogues all over Ewing.
Tip. Can Johnson come up with it? He does. To the hole. Count it. And then he gets in Charles Oakley's face.
And Larry Johnson's got to be careful. He's already got one technical. He gets another one. He gets thrown out. So he better watch what he's doing here. Bennett Salvatore is doing him a favor. Because had he hit him with a technical for shoving Oakley in the back, Oakley in here talking. Now Mourning goes over.
Johnson better be careful.
Yes, he better. They cannot lose him tonight.
And Pat Riley grabs Oakley. We thought it would be a war, and it's turning into that.
What happened was, as Johnson laid the ball in, after the turnover, you're going to see the turnover. Johnson's going to lay the ball in. Oakley's going to try to take the charge. Larry Johnson's going to come down. It's a block. It's a good call. He's moving. Now here's where the action starts, right here. They're laying down on the floor, and they start talking to each other. Larry Johnson says something. Oakley says something. And there's the push right there. Had Bennett Salvatore given him a tee, Larry Johnson's out of this game. Very, very good officiating by Bennett. Are we seeing now one of these periods that we've seen with New York in every playoff game where it starts to slip away from them? They go through one of those droughts. They had a 4-point lead. They're now down 1. Hornets have a chance to go up either 3 or 4. So let's watch the next few minutes and see if it's going to be one of those classic New York droughts.
Well, we saw him go 7-46 without a field goal in game number 2. Johnson to Bogues.
See the good rotation defensively.
Inside, nice look to Mourning. It goes! Now they're cheering.
See the replay, Muggsy Bogues going to the basket, and Doc Rivers made a mistake. He ran out at Muggsy Bogues as a shooter instead of a driver, and when he did, Muggsy got him wrong-footed and took the ball past him. So when you close out on Muggsy, you play him for the shot, or make him take the shot and play him for the drive. A 4-point lead now. Hornets lead 60-56.
And they are on an 8-0 run. That foul, by the way, was on Anthony Mason. That is his third. And New York finally gets into their offense with 15 on the shot clock. A lot of bumping. Mason, a clear path and an easy layup.
What Charlotte wants to do on that screen roll, they're running off of Oakley, and they're trying to force a quick trap to run them out of their screen roll. New York has scouted it, and they've got a counter, and it's working for them.
That is the shot that beat Boston. Mourning hits another. 8 in the quarter for Mourning, 19 for the ball game. There's the trap. Bogues, Rivers has to foul him. They are standing 23,698, waving the top.
Let's take a look at the one play that I talked about. When Kendall Gill's going to shoot the shot, we stop it right there. All right, John Starks runs at him. He is now going to release. Someone's got to be back. If we stop it, keep it going, hold it right there, you're going to see Johnny Newman and Muggsy Bogues right here in this position have to protect the backcourt. Neither one of them do. And as a result, John Starks gets the breakaway. That's the area they've got to really cover back when they shoot that baseline jump shot, because Starks is going to release.
Bogues from 18, and he buries it.
Perimeter shooting. Will this set up a strong fourth quarter finish?
Well, at the end of the third quarter in game 2, it was 76-71. Charlotte by 5.
And in game 1, it was 80-80.
Davis pulls the trigger, and the rookie out of North Carolina now with 4.
When you get a chance, take advantage of it, and that's what he's doing.
And Gaddison is going to be hammered by John Starks. That'll be his third.
What you're seeing right now is Kenny Gaddison is running Patrick Ewing, just like Alonzo Mourning looked to do. That time he also ran against Anthony Mason. So New York must get back defensively. Quick score, you must get back. And they started looking around at each other like, who's got this man? That was Anthony Mason's guy. Mourning was being checked by Patrick Ewing.
Gaddison, who is known for bad free throw shooting, only 60% during the regular season. He is now 8 of 15 here in the playoffs. Johnson continues to sit, while teammate Mourning continues to battle Ewing, and Ewing gets the best of that. Bogues on Starks. Even though you think that'd be a mismatch, Alan Bristow says he likes Muggsy Bogues on there. He takes him away from all the action. Muggsy lost it, quickly comes up with it, has Newman on the left. Muggsy stops, hesitates. Ball belongs to the Knicks. Muggsy can't believe it.
Well, Muggsy did everything right. Kenny Gaddison was slow stepping in, and he really busted in there. He would have had him a dunk, because Muggsy did everything, laid the ball out for him. And at the last moment, one of the New York Knicks got their hands on it.
And Del Curry comes in. Tony Bennett checks in for Charlotte. Muggsy Bogues is going to take a seat.
All right, now with 1:36 to go, can Charlotte buy some time here, 1:36, and do this timeout that you're going to have between the quarters to get some rest? Tony Bennett has played well when he's come in the last 2 games.
There's one thing Alan Bristol said he wished he would have done in game 2 is put Bennett in, let him run it late in the game. Anthony also in for the Knicks. Shot clock at 4. Shot clock at 3. Partially tipped. Shot clock at 1. Ewing gets it off as the buzzer sounds, but Charlotte has the ball. Mourning tries to get it over the head to Kenny Gaddison, and they buy a break.
That's where he comes in the lane and he leaves his feet to be a shooter. The shot is taken away from him, and then he wants to be a passer. Ron, when you leave your feet, you must think shot. You cannot think pass, and he's getting in the air, and that's where a lot of his turnovers are coming right now. You cannot leave your feet because guys are going to step back into the passing lane.
Chess match continues. Ewing comes out. Smith comes in, so then Alonzo Mourning and Alan Bristol see that. He goes out.
We got bench against bench right now. Charles Smith is the only starter on the floor for either team.
We talked about the fourth quarter woes in the last 4 games with New York. The Knicks have outscored Charlotte by an average of 11 points in the fourth. Shot clock at 3. Wingate puts up the prayer. It won't be answered. Davis tracks it down to Mason.
Nice hustle by Mason. He took it away from Sidney Green.
Smith wanted the ball as he was posting up on Wingate. 35 left in the quarter. The Hornets by 2.
This is amazing, the scoring at the end of these quarters.
Bennett stripped it with 6 on the shot clock. Now let's show you some numbers that'll explain exactly what Doug and I have been talking about the last couple of minutes. Fourth quarter woes.
Well, on the regular season, New York has won 3 of 4, and you can see they've outscored the Hornets by an average of 8 points. in the fourth quarter in the regular season. Game 1, it was a 16-point differential after a tie score. In Game 2, New York was down 5. They outscored them to send the game into overtime. Now, the key man during both of those stretches has been Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning. In Game 1, where Mourning got tired, he was outscored 9-6 after big 3 quarters where it was 24-21. In Game 2, really the difference. Patrick 17 points in the fourth quarter and overtime to only 3 after Mourning was outscoring him 21-17. So we'll have to wait to see what happens here in the fourth tonight.
Fans wanted to travel. Wingate takes it away from Rolando Blackman. Now the Charlotte bench wants a shot clock violation.
All right, now here's the rule that I would like to see changed. If they do have a jump ball here, that means there's going to be 1 second on the shot clock, right? Well, if New York gets the tip, there's going to be 24 seconds. They're going to get the last shot. I think they should leave 1 second up there, and if New York gets it, I think they have to shoot the ball. So this is one rule I'd like to see changed, and I've lobbied with Rod Thorne and Daryl Garrettson and stuff, because right now if New York gets this tip, they're going to get the last shot. Moot point because Charlotte gets it, but still, I think you reward the offense in a play like that by giving them a new clock.
They had turned off the shot clock. Charlotte can have the last shot if they use it to their advantage. Gaddison trying to push on Smith. Anthony glances up at the clock as Bennett dribbles around. 3 seconds. Curry's shot way off the mark into the hands of Wingate. The basket will not count. From the line, rolls it around, and it drops. (17) New York turnovers, but they still have been able to keep this game tied at 79 as Lonnie Nunn blows the whistle. Patrick Ewing picks up the foul. That is 4 as Rivers and Starks come back into the lineup. Anthony and Davis sit down. Ewing with 4. Smith with 4. Oakley with 4. And the only one in foul trouble for the Charlotte Hornets is Larry Johnson with 4. Fresh 24 for the Hornets. Ewing gets a piece of them. That is 5.
See, they put Ewing on the weak side to prevent from getting fouls, and he picks up 2 fouls in about 15 seconds. So now Pat Riley's going to have to come back in with Charles Smith, and Ewing's going to sit down. Here's Oakley fronting the lob pass, and here comes Ewing on the weak side, and he reaches in, and when he does, he draws the 5th foul. So Patrick Ewing will sit down. Boy, right now Charlotte must take advantage of this. Mourning being played by Oakley, they can go inside to that.
Bennett inside the basket, goes by Green.
Tony Bennett, a fearless drive inside. Sidney Green, who had 10 rebounds in Game 2, comes up with a nice catch and delivery and the 3-point play opportunity. Charles Smith with a bang in the body. And that's his 5th.
Bennett gets a nice round of applause as he sits down. So Smith with 5, Ewing with 5. Ewing fouled out of only 2 games the whole year. The lead is 3, 82-79.
Boy, Doc Rivers got to be really careful against this matchup with Muggsy. He's already picked him once tonight for a layup.
Muggsy eyeing the basketball, which isn't hard because he's right at the height of the dribble of Doc. Oakley stepping up big time.
Charles says, you better come out and play me. I can make these open jump shots. Don't leave me this open. Now he's got to play Mourning on this end. This is a tough cover for him because he's not a shot blocker. Mourning knows that he can go right over him.
Doc ties up Alonzo. Bug loose on a rug. We got a kick. That'll be against Charlotte. New York has the ball. 17 points for Charles Oakley. We've had 9 ties, 16 lead changes.
This is where maturity for Mourning has got to come into play. Charles Oakley's not a shot blocker. He will strip you on the way up. Protect it, jump, and take your shot. Don't worry about being in a hurry to create a shot like you would against Ewing. You can take your time.
Right. Starks all the way to the hole. Tipped up. Won't go. Tipped again. Charlotte's got it. Bogues pushes it across. Finds an opening. It goes! Mason quiets 23,000 people.
Now remember, he's a lefty, and he shot that one coming across the middle. Right-hand dribble with a right-hand hook shot. I think he surprised Alonzo Mourning.
To the sounds of charge.
Now this is their fourth quarter guy, Larry Johnson.
Nice look. Curry lost it, took his eyes off it again. And Oakley will have an easy two. The key for Charlotte, they're 20 of 29 from the line. New York has only visited the stripe 9 times, and they've only missed 2.
Well, if they can ride through this with Ewing being down with fouls, they're going to be in great shape for him to come back. There's another turnover.
We got another buck loose on the run. We're going to jump it up. Smith and Mourning.
Take your eye off the ball, you're going to fumble it. Sidney Green caught it, and he wanted to pass it before he got it into his hands. Now, big jump ball here because New York, again,
they're deciding who's going to jump.
This is going to be Charles Smith against Sidney Green, so it's going to be. But New York with Ewing sitting down, every time they can get their hands on the ball, that's one less time Charlotte's got a chance to score.
Kendall Gill into the lineup. Del Curry sits down. Curry only 5 points tonight. 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth.
Sidney Green got the tip, and he tipped it too hard off Larry Johnson's hand.
And now Johnny Newman comes in. Sidney Green goes out. So Alan Bristow losing a couple of inches.
Going small, Bogues, Newman, Gill. Basically a 3-guard attack with Johnson and Mourning. New York counters with Rivers, Mason, Oakley, Starks, and Charles Smith. So we have a mismatch here with, we got Starks, I guess, being played by Kendall Gill.
Smith over Mourning, doesn't get it. Rebound Newman, but what a pressure trapping defense by the Hornets. Newman flips it up. Offensive foul.
All game long, this has been a block. And Oakley steps in and at the right time gets the big play. Newman leaves his feet. Instead of a 3-point play, the play is going to be wiped out. Look at him. He steps in. Oakley, as he does so well, very close. Field goal is wiped away. And again, another turnover for Charlotte without getting a shot at the basket. That's 5 turnovers now in this fourth quarter.
Charles Oakley kept his hands by his side, so there was no question whether or not it would be a charge. Rivers over Bogues, doesn't get it. Rebound, Mason had position. Doesn't get it. Rebound again. Oakley battles underneath, comes out with the ball.
Well, Doc Rivers looked like he was going to tee it up for 3. He gives it to Starks.
And he misses it. Rebound, outlet to Gill.
So when you go a small lineup, you've got to be able to rebound.
Last touch by, should be Starks, but no.
Is that another turnover? Is that 6 turnovers in this quarter now?
Another turnover, and Alan Bristow is livid, as we see on the side.
So they're not getting any opportunities to take advantage of Patrick Ewing being out of the game. They're not even getting any shots at the basket. 16
turnovers for Charlotte in the game, 17 for the Knicks. And as you saw, New York has not turned the ball over here in the fourth.
See, Johnny Newman is playing Charles Smith right now in the post. If he'll take his time, he can get the shot. That's where the mismatch is. They're going small. If anything, Charles Smith should be able to get some offensive rebounds.
Starks.
Right there's the matchup. If Starks will drop it in, all he has to do is turn and shoot it.
Whistle, no basket, no shot. Johnny Newman picks up foul number 5. Let's see who Alan Bristow will counter with.
To the post up, he turns. Gill comes from behind, a beautiful block, but the push before the shot. There again, Charles Smith in the post. They're going to have to double team him every time he touches it, because he's at 6'10". He has the smaller Johnny Newman posted.
Smith to Rivers. Shot clock, a lot of time, 13 left. Rivers all the way to the hole. Count the basket. We have a whistle. Muggsy Bogues whistled for his third personal foul.
See, I think Alan Bristol's got to be very careful here. He's getting hurt with this small lineup because there's no shot blocking in. He's getting hurt on the offensive boards. They've now been out-rebounded 43-34. The small lineup is not working for him right now.
We've got a timeout. Allen wants to talk about it. Doc Rivers at the line. New York 7 of 9 from the stripe.
Doc Rivers says there's another rebound. Just not clearing the boards. A small lineup cannot rebound the basketball.
Now Muggsy trying to help with the double team by Newman. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the fourth. Knicks leading by 3.
Watch Oakley on the offensive boards. Now it's going to be a foul on Starks, and that's going to be the 4th team foul. For this lineup, they've now moved Newman over to Oakley. Oakley will not beat you with primary offense, but he will beat you with offensive rebounding. Right. So keep your eye on Oakley on the offensive boards with this group.
4 team fouls for the Knicks, 3 team fouls for the Hornets. 4:08 left to play in the ball game. Down low into Johnson. Mason on him. Johnson the fall away. It's tipped by Charles Smith.
Charles Smith did a nice job coming over to give help. He's playing Newman, so he was able to help out.
Oakley very patient out there. A stabilizing force for the Knicks.
Okay, now Charles Smith back being played by Johnny Newman.
Newman faked the double team. Shot clock at 5. Starks for 3.
Killer shot. That was a killer shot by Starks.
John Starks, who attempted and made more free throws than three-pointers than the rest of the Knicks combined, has given New York their biggest advantage at 6.
Well, the crowd wants to get excited, but I think the air went out of the building with that 3-point shot.
That is a backbreaker. Johnson stalling with the ball. Bogues.
Shoot it.
Buries it. Bogues with 12. The lead is 4.
When does Patrick Ewing come back? We're at the 3-minute mark now. Here he comes. I'm going to post up.
Charlotte looking for the stop. Starks looking to help the Knicks get a 3-0 lead in the best of 7. Smith with 2 on the shot clock. That'll be an offensive foul on Charles Smith. He is going to sit down. Bogues, Gill, Mourning, Newman, and Johnson for Charlotte. Rivers, Oakley, Ewing, Mason, and Starks for the Knicks.
Mourning's got great position and just a bad pass by Kendall Gill. Ewing circled the post and stole it.
Threw it to the wrong side. Back out to Starks. New York showing patience. They want a timeout, and they get it. 2:25 left. We've got a nail-biter in Charlotte. Knicks lead it by 4.
Charlotte shooting 60% in this quarter, but they've only attempted 10 shots because of the turnovers.
Well, Doug, we talked about at the beginning of the game that Alan Bristow was really concerned of who is going to take the big shot. Larry Johnson started out very well, but he has only 2 points in the 4th quarter, 7 for the half. Now it is Ewing for New York. Gets Mourning up in the air.
Good defense, though. Nice double team. Forced a very difficult shot.
Almost 2 minutes. Johnson for 3. My goodness! He is 1 for 2 in the postseason from the arc.
Boy, that changes everything. On the season, he was 18 for 71. Not bad. Now New York's patience and poise will be tested. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock.
What a big-time move!
This guy has played unbelievably well in critical situations. Game winner against the Pacers, game winner the other night.
Mourning. Oh, hold on to your seats. This last minute and a half could be a knockdown drag-out.
Oh, Mason picked up his dribble. Boy, this will test your patience.
Ewing inside again. 4 big points in a row for Patrick Ewing in his 8th year. The lead is 3. 1:10 left to play. Johnson has to kick it out.
On the pass out, though, the Knicks are in the penalty. They've committed their 15 fouls, so Larry Johnson will be shooting 2 free throws. Remember now, in game 2 the other night. They could not convert these free throws when necessary.
You mentioned, Doug, they missed 7 of their last 11. 15 foul.
The growing up of a young team, playoff pressure, you cannot simulate this in the regular season. You can't simulate it in college, in practice. You have to go through it. And Larry Johnson pulled the string, and you see his reaction. He's down on the floor. He's down on his knee. Must regain his composure and knock this one in. Still plenty of time remaining in this ball game.
He is only 7 of 11 from the stripe. But he is smiling.
That's a nervous smile. That's not a fun smile. That's a nervous smile. You know, when the teacher's getting ready to call on you and you don't know the answer.
I know that. Larry Johnson has not been in that many close big games in his college or professional career. But he's in a tight one now. The Knicks by 2, just over a minute left.
We've got a minute 9 here to see whether we're going to have a series or not. If New York can hold on, they go up 3-0. Chances are Charlotte will not have a chance in this series. If they're able to win this game, you come back on Sunday, push it to 2-2, you could be in for a very long game or a very long series. So New York right now, their fate is in their own hands. If they can execute and get the job done here with a minute 9 on the 15th floor. See if they go screen roll now to Ewing. He likes to slip this pick. If he and Starks run screen roll, going to use some clock.
Reed is guarding Ewing. Mourning pops out on Blackman. Blackman back to Starks. He looked at the 3, lost the handle. Ewing again. Doesn't get it. Charlotte can tie with 45 left in the ball game.
They got a chance for a 2-for-1 possession here too. They can take their time and get it 2-for-1.
Johnson, the big time move, dishes off. Mourning, he's got it.
.94, 30.9 seconds remaining. We talked about Larry Johnson being the go-to guy. If we stop it right here, here's the strategy. Turn Larry Johnson, run Doc Rivers in behind him for the steal. Larry Johnson sees it at the last minute right there, and he picks his dribble up, comes back to the middle. Here comes Ewing for the shot block. Mourning steps in and gets the finish. Great play by Larry Johnson to keep Doc Rivers from coming in from the blind side.
Important that Charlotte still has a foul to give as we look at Larry Johnson. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists.
I tell you, the one thing about that foul to give, though, the important thing is Charlotte's going to commit it. They want to commit it before it gets into the last 24 seconds or New York gets the last possession. So otherwise, they want to play good defense, stop them, and then they get the last chance to win this game.
Charlotte has played good defense throughout this series. Our 10th tie. We are at 94.
We got Starks played by Muggsy Bogues. There's the screen roll we always talk about.
Muggsy got a piece of it. Rivers for 3, doesn't get it. Charlotte has the ball.
I think you go right with it. Allen's going to call timeout.
The crowd is going ballistic. Doug, I think you could stand behind the engine of a jet and it would be quieter than this arena right now.
What an unbelievable game this would be if Charlotte, after what happened in game 2 where they lost the big lead, could come back, execute, and make the plays defensively and offensively and win this close game. Again, I really believe that the difference between this series going 7 and maybe 5 is tonight's game. If Charlotte can win this, we could be in for the long haul. Otherwise, I think you're going to be looking at a 4 or 5 game series.
Well, Chuck Daly talked about it last night in our studio. We talked about it, how important winning game 2 is, but if you don't, you really have to forget about it. You think about, this is the youngest team in the NBA playoffs right now. They've been able to forget game 2, the disappointing loss, and they've played extremely hard.
The important thing is, coming home, this crowd knows all about the fourth quarter. And as it started to slip away, you could sense the crowd going, uh-oh, here it goes again. And Charlotte has dug in, and they've made some nice plays. And Larry Johnson has made some nice passes. He's hit a big three. He's found Mourning for the score. So he's done everything you want the guy at that point in time to do as your go-to guy. Now, what has happened in the past with Charlotte, they've liked to isolate Larry Johnson on the top of the floor. They call it their Dallas play, and go 1-4. He has a tendency not to go straight at the guy, to spin. So be aware if he spins, New York running someone in from behind him. He has to be very careful if they run that play.
I got an idea what you said. I didn't hear a word of it, but I'll agree with you, Doug. Now the Knicks, the #1 team in the NBA in opponent field goal percentage. #1 in three-point percentage allowed. #1 in fewest points allowed. And #1 in fewest assists allowed, which amounts to Charlotte having their hands full.
And when they hold their opponent to under 100 points, which has been 52 times this year, New York is 48-4, which leads the league. Now, interesting substitution. Alan Bristow has come in with the rookie, Tony Bennett, who's the better shooter. He shot the ball extremely well. He set down Muggsy Bogues. So we'll see if Bennett gets the open shot, if he can pull the trigger on it in this kind of pressure.
He is a very calm young man. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not afraid to pull the trigger.
First thing you got to do is get the ball in. So someone's got to come. There's Larry Johnson. They're probably going to isolate on top of the floor. This is their Dallas play. Remember now, he spins. If he spins, look if they run someone in from behind him.
Johnson, the fall away. Doesn't get it. Ewing calls timeout.
Took it too soon. Took the shot too quickly. Now you give New York 3 seconds and a chance to win the game. You want to take the shot. You've got a foul to waste. You maybe go in and get an offensive rebound, or you foul too soon on the shot clock.
Doug, Larry Johnson's shot. Diagram it.
Well, too soon, #1, but they're going 1-4 here is what their offense is. It's a 1-4 offense. You got 4 guys on the baseline. Let's watch what happens. We're going to run it forward and stop it right there. Starks fakes at Larry Johnson, then it's going to get back. But here's the problem. Watch where Tony Bennett comes. Hold it right there. He's going to come right in here, and when he does, he's going to bring Doc Rivers with him to congest the play. So now Larry Johnson, look at the shot he ends up taking, a fadeaway jumper. Remember, Charlotte has a foul to give. So if New York gets the ball in, they can take the quick foul if they have to, force them to throw the ball in once again.
That was Larry Johnson's only his 3rd miss of the ball game.
Starks played by Muggsy Bogues. Let's see if they can get Starks the ball.
Both teams have 1 20-second timeout left.
Got to be careful here.
Starks for the win. We're going to our 2nd overtime game in this series. My goodness. We were tied at 93 apiece in game 2. We're tied at 94 apiece in game 3. You gotta love it. Third overtime game for both teams in the playoffs. Charlotte 1-1, New York 2-0. But Doug, the key could be that man right there for New York.
We got to remember he had 5 fouls. He had to sit out 5.5 minutes in the 4th quarter. He came back at the 3-minute mark, had 2 critical baskets for New York. So we'll see if Charlotte is able to go at him, maybe get his 6th foul. That would change the entire complexion of the overtime. Charles Smith has already fouled out, so it would probably force Pat Riley to come in with Herb Williams, the veteran who has seen very little action in the playoffs.
In fact, Herb Williams has played only 2 games in the playoffs, 55 during the regular season. But for the men in blue, it is Ewing, Mason, Oakley, Starks, and Rivers. You know, the men in teal, excuse me, Doug, it'll go with Newman, Bogues, Johnson, Mourning will be the 5, and
Kendall Gill. It's interesting with New York. New York never makes anything easy. Pat Riley had to have coached about 3 seasons this year with this team. The ups and downs they go through and how close all these games are played.
Well, Chuck, Pat Riley told us at the beginning of the year in a game on TNT versus Washington that no team has won an NBA title with as many personnel changes as they have. 7 new faces on the Knicks club from last year's team.
Kendall Gill, again, very flat on that outside shot. That's the first one he's attempted in probably 8 or 9 minutes, so he has not had many opportunities. Boy, Doc Rivers got Muggsy Bogues on it. Get the ball to someone else.
They're working around, and Mason Starks spotting up. Ewing to Rivers.
Great ball movement, and Oakley, who's made the shot all night, misses.
Another offensive rebound.
49-37 on the boards now, plus 12 for New York.
Doc better be careful.
Oh, tough.
Starks for three, way off the mark. It may have been tipped, but we have a whistle and a pushing foul underneath.
I think that's on Larry Johnson. That's number 5. Again, Oakley working the offensive boards, gets the rebound, and that's the 5th, I think, on Larry Johnson. There we have the 5th foul. So now he's in a tough situation. See, I think you got to go to Ewing right here.
Ewing on Mourning, they kick it back, they'll play catch.
Patrick's just taking his time.
It's a baseline. Patrick Ewing, who took over the overtime period on Wednesday night, gets the first 2 tonight.
See how he had the patience, caught it, pumped it back out, repositioned, got it back, made his move.
Johnson on Oakley.
There's a double team. Monkey's going to have the open shot.
Takes it, doesn't get it. Oh, and Kendall Gill wanted to slam it, I think, Doug.
Looked like he had the one hand on it at the last moment. It slipped out of his hands. But Muggsy Bogues, Doc Rivers is the double teamer on Larry Johnson, so he's the guy that's going to have the shot. Now, he missed one. He's got to continue to take it. He can't run off of it.
Starks over to Ewing. He'll take about a 15-footer. Doesn't get it. Rebound, Charlotte trailing by 2 in overtime. 3:20 left to play. Gill spins, the reverse, doesn't get it. Loses the ball, still loose. We're going to jump it up as New York was trying to call a timeout before the jump.
I think Doc Rivers is hurt. It looks like he might have hurt his elbow. He has had an unbelievably tough season with injuries. Broken nose, chipped teeth. Gill's going to roll out here, and he goes up, and Patrick Ewing holds his ground. He jumps back into him, and then the ball goes loose right there on the floor. Doc Rivers goes down, Ewing goes down, and you see Doc Rivers got his arm locked in there behind him.
Gill and Rivers jumping it up.
Should tip it back to Johnny Newman. Oh, it's right there, right between the two guys, right where you're supposed to go.
Charlotte 0 for 4 from the floor in overtime. Mourning, the big right-handed hook.
Nice patience by Alonzo Mourning. So both big guys going right at each other here in the overtime.
28 for Mourning in the game is Hubert Davis, who won it for New York. Set the check back in. Won it in game 2.
Where Doc Rivers no place to go. He's trying to crab dribble Muggsy Bogues off of it.
And then he puts the shot up.
Remember now, he's the guy that hit the shots against Indiana.
Bogues blows by everybody. A whistle and a foul on the drive. That'll be on John Starks. He is playing with 5 personal fouls.
Doc Rivers has played himself into exhaustion. After he made the shot, he could not get back down the floor. Muggsy just sprinted down the floor. And so Doc Rivers is out of the game. It looked like he might have pulled a hamstring or something. Mike Saunders, the trainer, is looking at him right now.
Doc is bent over on the far side, trying to stand up. Tied. Knicks lead it by 2, 98-96. We were tied at 94 at the end of regular.
Went right around Patrick Ewing. Patrick did not move his feet. Right with the jump hook, left with the power dunk. Alonzo Mourning, these are the playoffs.
Ewing. Mason fakes the pass to Ewing. The little jump. Right-hander goes down.
See, very good patience by New York. Now what they're doing is they're trapping. Patrick's making the extra pass, and on the rotation out, they're finding the ball right back to Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing with 26. He is yet to visit the stripe. Alonzo Mourning with 30. We have a timeout. Knicks lead it by 2 in OT.
Knicks lead 100-98. Now the last time down the floor, Mourning spins left shoulder with the jump hook with the right hand. This time he comes back to the middle. Patrick stops sliding. He reaches, and we see the power dunk for Alonzo Mourning to tie the ball game up. Now we go back to Patrick Ewing, and what we see here is Patrick is going to get double teamed. Here comes Johnny Newman. We stop it. There's the double team. Patrick is going to throw out of there. Now here's what happens. Mason's going to put it on the floor, and we stop it right there. Both guys have left. Guess who? Patrick Ewing, who now gets the wide open little shot. So the good patience by New York gets him 2 more points.
Doc Rivers, we understand, has a leg cramp. He may return in the game. But right now, they'll go with the rookie Hubert Davis as we look at the battle between Ewing and Mourning tonight. Ewing has the better on the rebounds, but it is Alonzo Mourning with 30 leading the point total.
See, I come right back to Alonzo Mourning again. We got a minute 56 to go. Patrick is so afraid of committing his 6th foul that Alonzo's getting great position. Let's see if they go back to him once again.
There it is. Ewing with 5, Starks with 5.
Isolation left. He wants to go left.
And he goes left, loses the handle, walked with it. Ewing with the rebound.
See, they isolated him to go left. Patrick knew that he does not like to go that way. He stumbled and could not get the good shot opportunity. Hubert Davis in the game now.
Same family, though.
Well, you can see who I played against.
That's right. Same bloodline. Nice defense by Alonzo Mourning. The Hornets on the run. Bogues holds it up. Looking for Johnson down low. Shot clock at 10.
Here comes Hubert Davis to lead Muggsy Bogues.
The fall away way short. Not the shot I think you would want at that point.
No, you hold it too long. You let the defense come double team you. Hubert Davis, a lot of confidence here by Pat Riley. He's got him out on top of the floor handling the ball against Kendall Gill.
Bogues on Starks. Shot clock at 7. Ewing, Gill takes the steal. He's got Newman on the right. Gill's going to try to do it himself. Dishes off to Bogues. Back to Newman. The jumper. Yes! Timeout. We're tied at 100.
Kendall Gill with nice defense here forces a turnover, and we're going to walk you through there. Ron, as he comes down to double team, what Hubert Davis has got to do is got to fill into vision so Ewing can find him with the pass. He works away from the ball. As a result, the pass is deflected. Now, who's going to take this shot? Kendall Gill drives it. He finds out Muggsy Bogues, who won't take it. And look at the shot that Johnny Newman hits here with 2 defenders to tie the game. What a sensational play.
We are tied at 100. 37.7 left to play. New York with 2 full timeouts and a 20. Charlotte the same.
Again, now, there's plenty of time here. If New York is able to get a good executed play where they might be able to get a 2-possession to 1, and they get it going quickly, which is what they want to do. There's the rookie again, Hubert Davis.
And he buries it again!
Are you serious? Look at him.
He said his 3-point shot in game 2 was a gift from God. So was that one. What a shot by the rookie who played in only 50 regular season games.
Well, what they did was they cleared it out for Starks to penetrate. Hubert Davis slid down to spot it, but more importantly, they got it up for another possession. Here's Starks, and watch what happens with a defensive man. Stop it right there. Look where Kendall Gill is, coming in here to give help, and no one is able to get back to Hubert Davis, who has his feet on the line, but a great pass by Starks and tremendous concentration and poise by the rookie from North Carolina. That's 3 for 4 tonight, 6 points, and we all remember his big 3-point shot the other night to tie game 2.
Well, he said he credits his success to his father, who works for the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. He said he was so nervous when he came out on the court Wednesday night, he thought, what am I doing out here? But he has stood up to the challenge in the last 2 games. 28.5 left in the game, 21 on the shot clock. Charlotte now with only 1 full timeout and a 20. As we look inside the Hornets huddle.
See what, again, Ron, the importance of running that play quickly to get 2 possessions for 1. So even had he missed that, there's a 7.5-second differential. So had they played defense, they get the last shot to win the game. That's what you have to do. You have to use strategy in the last minutes of an NBA game and moving the ball with your timeouts, when you take shots, when you take fouls. So that's how championship teams are made.
You mentioned at the top of the show, Doug, that Alan Briscoe did not show them the tape of the last 6 minutes of game number 2. We saw that Muggsy Bogues turned down a shot with about 36 seconds left. Maybe he should have showed it to him, considering we're in the same situation now.
No question about it. That, Johnny Newman did make the shot, but he gave the opportunity now for New York to use their 2-for-1 strategy. Now, defense is going to be the key. If you're New York, you don't want to give up a 3-point shot, and you do not want to commit a foul and give up a 3-point play. At worst, you have the ball tied up chance to win. That's the worst thing that can happen if you're in New York right now.
Well, Tony Bennett comes back into the lineup. Charlotte only 3 of 9 shooting in the third quarter. In the playoffs, they are 8 of 30 from the three-point arc. Bennett and Del Curry into the lineup.
See if they go back to the Dallas play once again with Larry Johnson coming to the top of the floor and spotting up Bennett on one side for 3 and Del Curry on the other. So if Johnson penetrates and there's help, he can punch it out to one of them to take a 3-point shot to maybe win this game.
28.5, the Knicks by 2 in overtime.
Interestingly, Tony Bennett's going to be handling the basketball here.
Johnson can't get away from Mason. Shot clock at 10. Mourning, the big step inside. It won't go. Rebound knocked around. Mourning's got it. Puts it up. Who's the foul line? If it's Ewing, it's 6. If it is Mason, it is 5. And they'll call it instead on Doc Rivers, who picks up his 3rd.
Second shot opportunities. Just the relentless pursuit of the ball by Alonzo Mourning. Just came in and took it away from 4 New York defenders. Now again, free throw line. The pressure of shooting free throws. Mourning 58% in this series.
14 seconds to shoot it, but he made it.
That hit nothing but the bottom of the net. Didn't even touch the rim.
Mourning with 31 points in the ball game.
Well, Larry Johnson and Mourning have combined for 61 points tonight.
Big time game for the 2 young players. For the tie with 12 seconds left.
Well, wouldn't it be something if they called a 10-second violation on this one? None of us would get out of here.
I'm under the table.
He could take all day to shoot this one.
Only 13 seconds. Alonzo has 6 of Charlotte's 8 points in overtime. 12 seconds left. We are tied. Wingate in for defensive purposes for Charlotte. Everybody is standing. The final 10.
Starks now, remember in the game the other night, he just backed him down and took the shot over him. Mourning helps. Ewing will be open. Oh,
Charlotte has it. The shot, it won't go, and we're into the second overtime. I love this game. 102. Let's see if it was a foul, Doug.
all right, we're going to hold it right here, Ron. First of all, when a guy reaches in for the basketball, if he hits basketball, which is on top of the ball, normally the ball goes down, okay? If he hits arm, the ball has a tendency to go up. Now, we can't really see it here, but watch what happens when he reaches in. If you get ball, that ball's normally going to go down towards the floor. You see him backing him down, and right there, see where he hits him? Right across the wrist, and the ball goes up. If you get ball, it goes down.
Excellent job by our guys on the cameras underneath. Another angle.
Let's see if we can see it again from this angle. Right there, across the hand, and the ball, hand's part of the ball, no call. And Charlotte, we're looking at a double OT.
Oh boy, minutes played. Ewing and Mourning both have played 42 minutes in the game. Charlotte with 14 steals. New York with just 2. Here we go again.
Can Ewing play this period without fouling out? I mean, he has played the last 3 minutes.
And a steal. Charlotte has it. Johnson wisely holds it up.
Patrick Ewing has played 8 minutes now with 5 fouls, playing against Alonzo Mourning, who is very active in the post.
Ewing with 5, Starks with 5. Gill still off the mark, gets his own rebound to Johnson. No! Gill keeps it alive. Last touch by New York. Oh my goodness.
You know, Kendall Gill, when he's taking his shot, he has given it such great effort, but he is shooting it with no confidence. It's almost like he's letting it go and trying to go chase it back down. He's now 3 for 15 in tonight's game. If Charlotte can win this game with this kind of perimeter shooting.
Yes, they're living right. A lot of time on the shot clock. We're at 10. Johnson, the quick move inside. Ewing's got it. Hubert Davis went hard to the floor.
See, now what you're doing is you got Hubert Davis on top of the floor with the dribble. You're going to try to run Starks down there and see if you can post him.
Larry Johnson playing with 5 fouls. Oakley looks at it, takes it short. Boom! Stakes it away from Starks. A lot of jump shots will be flat now as the legs start to go. But Newman's aren't.
Johnny Newman's legs aren't tired. He's hit 2 big shots. Remember the baseline jumper when no one would pull the trigger, and then that one gives him a 2-point lead.
Alan Briscoe did not go with him in game 2. He's going with him in 3. Ewing. Over Mourning. Mourning had the rebound. Lost it to Anthony Mason underneath.
54 rebounds to 42 now for New York. Plus 12. Get a count here on the offensive rebounds.
Tied at 104. Mourning working on Ewing. Throws it right into the hands of Davis. Stolen by Muggsy Bogues. Bogues from 15. No. Gill has it stripped by Hubert Davis. And here comes Davis out of the pack. Starks spotting up.
How about Hubert Davis playing these critical minutes? He's going to be open for another 3 here if they double team.
Ewing into the paint. The left hand is short. Gill to Bogues. 3 on 4.
Look at Alonzo Mourning. He has not even got across the floor yet.
He is dragging. Great move. Johnson loses it. Hubert Davis again.
I tell you, we might have to pull out a tourniquet to have a foul here in this last.
Call the corner. Starks lets it go, but he draws the foul. You're right. He took his head off. Foul was on Kendall Gill. That'll be number 4. Foul situation. Johnson with 5. Gill with 4. Newman with 5. Mourning only with 2. And for New York, Patrick Ewing playing with 5. Starks with 5. Smith is fouled out. Oakley with 4. And Mason with 4.
Well, I tell you what, you got a lot of teams right now seeing New York expend so much energy if they're going to advance to the next round.
Yeah. Nothing but net for John Starks in his first appearance at the line.
You see offensive rebounds. Now, remember, 23 in game 2 from New York. Tonight they have 25. Now, I know this is double overtime, but Charlotte, their weakness all season long has been that they are the worst defensive rebounding team, and the fact they give up the most offensive rebounds. So it's 25 to 14, plus 11 on the offensive boards for New York tonight.
The Knicks by a pair. In the second OT, in case you just joined us, 2:20 left to be played. Newman dribbles off his foot and then he falls. Mason.
Look at Muggsy Bogues!
What a play by Muggsy! He's got the ball!
Where did he go?
Goodness!
Where did he go?
Oh, like a little gnat at a picnic. Have mercy!
Look at him. Look where Muggsy Bogues is. Where he's not even in the picture yet. Where is he? There he is. What a great play.
Muggsy Bogues, 5 steals tonight. 17 for the ball game for the Hornets. 2:12 left to be played. The Knicks by 2.
I don't think it can get any better than this.
No, baby.
This Charlotte team has got a lot of courage and a lot of heart. You really have to take your hat off to them because New York has thrown everything at them tonight, and they are standing toe-to-toe here, down only 2 in double overtime.
There's a lot of sports cafes around the country making a lot of money off this game as people continue to buy the nachos and the suds watching this.
Thank God it's only one game here tonight on the 17th. Nobody's going to be able to stay up for the next one. They'll be so tired.
Mourning, what a goal! Oh, my goodness!
I think Patrick Ewing is tired. I think Alonzo's worn him down here tonight.
34 points for Alonzo Mourning to go with 9 rebounds.
You know, Patrick's got the savvy and the experience, and right now, Alonzo Mourning's got the young legs.
Starks to Mason. Shot clock at 6. Down low, Mason with 3 on the shot clock. The left-handed Rondo.
Oh, steal by Oakley. Great hustle by Oakley to strip the ball loose.
And Del Curry almost made a major mistake by arguing the call instead of getting back on defense.
Here comes a double team on Ewing. Mason will be open.
Mason from 16 goes about 14. Mourning had it, last touched by New York. Like Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali just slugging each other in the jaw. Newman out. Excellent job by Johnny Newman. Gill back into the lineup.
You got to go back to Mourning. Mourning's got his own way right now with Patrick. He's got the fresher legs, and Patrick's got 5 fouls. You get him the 6th foul, you're in great shape.
Because Herb Williams has been sitting the entire game.
Who's going to make the outside?
Oh, yes!
Remember, that's the one he would not take the other night. Do you learn from your failure? If you're Muggsy Bogues, you do.
The Hornets lead it, but we still have an eternity left in the form of 53.8.
Well, the Hornets lead by 2, 53.8 seconds to go in double overtime, and Alonzo Mourning is putting on a clinic here in the low post, spinning, weaving, going to the basket. Look at this drop step, keeps it away from Patrick Ewing, the two-hand dunk. And then the really big shot by Muggsy Bogues. We're going to watch what happens. The ball's going to go in the post to Mourning, and we stop it right there. That's Muggsy's man on the double team. And this shot the other night he did not take. Tonight he does, and he buries it, and he gets rewarded for having the courage to pull the trigger.
Muggsy Bogues, 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 8 assists, 5 steals. This is the first time Charlotte has led in either overtime. I tell you, these two teams have got to play again Sunday, and it is an afternoon game. I doubt if anybody's going to practice tomorrow, as it is almost 11:15 Eastern time.
Now, New York is taking it length to the floor, so they've got to come against pressure defense. So the first thing they've got to be able to do is get the ball up floor. Again, Hubert Davis still on the floor. So Pat Riley, great confidence in the rookie. See if he gets freed up for another 3 that he hit the other night.
Ewing doesn't get it. Rebound, Oakley. It hit off Oakley's head. Nice job by David Wingate, just battling the oak. And Oakley better tie his shoelaces or he's going to trip.
Well, he's going to be guarding Larry Johnson, who they're probably going to go to either him or Alonzo Mourning on this play. Oakley sees it now. He's strapping him up.
That's right. Timeouts. New York 2 and a 20. Charlotte 2 and a 20.
How about the two rookies? You've got Tony Bennett on the floor and Hubert Davis right now. Both playing critical minutes here for these two teams.
And Muggsy calls the timeout. And we're going to keep it right here at the Coliseum. 23,698. We're here at 8 o'clock. 23,698 are here now.
See if they go back on top of the floor with Larry Johnson or go inside to Mourning. Going to isolate Muggsy against Hubert Davis to penetrate.
Muggsy losing the handle. Mourning from way outside, doesn't get it. Rebound, Mason had it, lost it. Charlotte has it. The shot clock is turned off.
They don't have to shoot, and New York has got a foul to give before they go into the penalty. So as soon as the ball is thrown in, if they don't get a steal, they have to take a foul. Force Charlotte to take it in once again and take another one.
And Pat Riley is in the ear of Ronnie Nunn wanting a foul, but I really thought that went off the Knicks.
It did. It went off New York. That was a good call. They got a foul immediately. You can't let them burn clock. You got a foul. You got a foul.
Riley is out on the court.
You got to grab him.
Foul, and there it is with 6.7. Pat Riley was about 5 feet on the court yelling.
Well, what Hubert Davis has got to learn, in college, you got to worry about an intentional foul. In the NBA, you got to grab the guy. None of this touching. They're not going to give you that foul. So there's a rookie mistake. Precious time that you need at this stage of the game. Because what happens now, they're going to throw the ball in, and you've got to foul once again.
You saw Pat yelling foul. New York, 1 full timeout. Charlotte, a full, a 20, and a foul to give. Listen to this noise. Charlotte with the lead and the ball.
All right, who do you want to shoot these pressure free throws? Alonzo Mourning? If so, that's who you want to catch the ball immediately. Or if you want Larry Johnson, that guy's got to come to the ball. I think Alonzo Mourning is the guy. You got to foul him.
Hubert Davis does. This time, less than a second, drops off, and Muggsy Bogues, who is 2 of 4 from the line, will go to the line. Wingate will come in, and Kendall Gill will come in. Muggsy, the big shot.
Well, you make 2 here, and you give yourself a great chance to win this game.
Oh, yes. Nothing but net.
Sort of apropos that the smallest guy on the floor would make the biggest plays tonight.
There's a timeout. (110-106). The Charlotte Hornets 5.5 seconds away from forcing at least a game 5. We talked about the hustle stats. Look at it, Doug.
Well, +4 now for the Hornets. It was +4 now on the scoreboard, 110-106. The last time we looked at it, it was dead even. So the hustle plays that the Hornets have had to make have given them this 4-point lead.
Game 5 will be played Tuesday night right here on TNT at 8 o'clock Eastern time from Madison Square. New York just 1 of 7 in the second overtime as Charlotte has outscored or has scored the last 6 points of the game since they trailed 106-104, and New York is out of timeouts.
What you don't want is someone to foul a 3-point shooter taking the shot. No 4-point plays. The worst thing that happens is if they score, you take timeout, you move the ball to half court because New York can't advance it.
Starts for 3, doesn't get it. Ball bounces around. Charlotte has it. The series is now 2 games to 1. Our player of the game tonight is going to be Alonzo Mourning. 34 points on 13 of 23 shooting, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. It took them double overtime, and the Charlotte Hornets pull within 1 game of New York in the best of 7. They win it 110-106.
The Hornets won a double overtime thriller behind its 2 young stars, Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson. After losing Game 3, the Knicks would win the next 2 to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Their 1993 season would end there, however, as the Knicks lost to the eventual NBA champion Chicago Bulls in 6 games. Thanks for watching this edition of Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. I'm Rick Kamla. We'll see you next time.